The next step is to maintain the plugin configuration settings. So you go back in SPRO, and then you're still in SPRO. Now this time you click on GRC Governance Risk and Compliance plugin. Okay, so let's close this for a minute. And then under access control, you'll find an option called maintain public plugin configuration settings. Click execute that. Click on new entries. Let's say parameter ID. So what is your parameter ID here? Which is your plugin connector. Okay, so you have to specify in parameter ID 1000. Please maintain plugin connector. Let's say number 1, and then you say which is your plugin connector. So S4 CLNT 100. Okay, so this is your plugin, right? Yeah, that's for your plugin connector. Okay, this is your child system, right? To the plugin system. Click on save, create a new transport request if it asks, and let's say plugin configuration. Okay, now go back. Now you also maintain another parameter ID, which is please maintain your GRC connector, right? 1001 parameter ID 1001 GRC connector, and let's say sequence number 2, and then say TRS, because TRS is your GRC system, and says TRS, this is your the RSC connection that you created for the systems. Okay, so that's what we use. Okay, so TRS ALNT is your GRC connector. So click on save, go back. Okay, now you will have some, when you click on new entry, right? If you look at the parameter IDs, you will have some other parameters that we will see as we go with other configurations for when we are implementing the other modules like ARA, ARM, BRM and all. So for example, 1081, 1082, 1083 and 1084. These are parameters that you need to set on both sides if you want to do what you call risk analysis while when you're creating a role or generating a role. Okay, so when you're assigning the role to the user used in PFCG, or you're doing the US, if they're assigning a role to a user in SU01, and if the new role has any conflicts with any role the SAP that the user already has, then the system will throw up a message for you that there is SOD conflicts. Okay, so these are some of the parameters that we'll see if you're using EAM, for example, centralized EAM or decentralized EAM. This parameter is going to be set for that. 410, again the 410 is a firefighter role ID. Firefighter role that is going to be used for identifying the firefighters. That needs to be set on both the plugin system as well as the GRC system. So these are some of the parameters that we'll see as we go forward. Not right now. So let's cancel it. Now you set what your plugin connector is and what your GRC connector is. Now you need to do this setting in the HANA system also. Okay, your backend system also. So in the backend system, which is S4H, you go to SPRO, reference IMG, and then under risk compliance and plugin, go to access control and maintain plugin settings. Okay, same steps basically. So parameter ID is 1000, right? What is the plugin connector sequence is 1 and this plugin connector is for CLNT 100, right? That's your plugin system. Okay, then save it and let's say create one SP. Let's say plugin configuration. Okay. All right. Now you go back. Can you click new entries? And now this time pick the maintain GRC connector. Let's do that. And say sequence is that, and then your GRC connector is TRS CLNT 100. Okay. Click on save. So data is saved. Okay. Now if you go back and you see you have two connectors here. Again, like I said, other parameters that we see, some of these parameters we'll have to set later on. Okay, we'll do it. But there are other parameters also that you can set as per your requirements. Okay. So yeah. So these are the things that you need to do to indicate which is your plugin system and what is your GRC system here in both sides, on the GRC side as well as the plugin system side.